Hey, BookTube.
Hey, BookTube.
Happy New Year's Eve. I know.
Um,
Woo!
Happy New Year, Peg. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Are we ready for a new year?
Well, I'm as ready as I'm gonna be. It's not like I can change things.
That's right.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I mean, yes. So we are here to just catch up. We were just talking before we went live, like we weren't sure when our last live stream was. Feels like a couple months ago,
Mhm.
2 to 2.5 months ago.
I knew it had been a little bit, but
Yeah.
I just
Let me
wasn't sure
see.
when.
I'm trying to see. I'm going to try to see if we are live really quick. Just a little bit of technical checking here. You might, oh, I just saw your other thumbnail. You gladiator.
Yep.
You are nuts. I
Yep.
love
Look
it.
out, world. Ruttenberg has figured out Chat GPT. I knew those teacher PD times would come in handy one of these days.
Oh my gosh. I got to do this now. I got to try one of those, man. That looks so much fun.
Oh, it's
So,
pretty easy to use.
so do you just kind of like plug in a photo of yourself and then say, put
Then
me in the
tell it
Civil
what you
War?
want. Yep.
Oh,
So like on that one that I did yesterday for Historathon, I just typed in create a Civil War battle scene, and then I wanted to put myself in there, so I put my picture in there and asked it to put me in the foreground, and bam, it was done.
and it was done.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was pretty
Now
neat.
I'm going to get on board. I'm going to do something with that as well.
Well, I got to daydreaming about all the things I could do with that, and Katie Bell and we were playing with that yesterday morning. You're gonna love this. We've got from somebody's birthday party. Maybe it was mine, maybe it was hers. I can't remember. But I got me and my two daughters, and if you know me well, I do not wear pink. Okay, so I've got a pink hat turned around backwards, and then I've got my girls, beside me, and we put that picture into Chat GPT, and my youngest daughter, she says, "Daddy, make us ride a unicorn." And so I was like, "Okay." So I said, "Make them ride a unicorn," and there we are on a unicorn. Ah,
Wow.
it is quite funny.
That's like some blackmail material for you there, Bill.
Oh, good night. More like blackmail material for them.
For them. Okay. But you're wearing pink. Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, a pink hat,
A pink
nothing
hat.
else.
Okay.
I don't own things that are pink. It looks terrible with my skin.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I
Some people
used to I
pull
used
it
to
off.
hate
I
pink,
can't.
but now as an older lady, I'm like, yeah, I appreciate pink because it can be
Well,
kind of feisty and fun.
well, I've gotten to where I wear red. I never used to wear red.
Right. Because
Yeah.
you're red already.
Yeah. But I've gotten to where I got over that. I've gotten to, I used to think that if I wore green, I'd look like a Christmas tree, but that's when I had I had a full head of hair, and it wasn't like the dark color it is now. It was bright red.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I love it. It's interesting how we evolve over time
Yes.
as human beings.
Yeah. So how was Christmas?
Oh yeah, Christmas was good. It was quiet, and it was actually way more less stress than previous Christmases
Yeah.
because I just didn't stress out about gotta have decorations up, gotta have to do this, And then I just said, I'm a certain age now, and I'm like, is this really what I need to do, or is this just like the culture telling me?
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to put the tree up after Thanksgiving. Now you got to go shopping. Now you got to drop a lot of money. And I'm like, is this what Christmas is supposed to be about? And plus the fact that Christ wasn't even born in December.
Yep.
It's just like, how about I just, go to church and sing my Christmas songs and really feel
Mm-hmm.
the reason for the season, as it were.
Yeah.
And we had a wreath up, we had some Christmas lights up, but I didn't drag out the plastic tree this year. And you know what? Now I don't have to tear it down.
Yeah. Well, my wife said that we were putting everything away on Sunday, but we're going to leave because we've got 2 trees because we got 2 big picture windows. So we got a tree for each window,
Yeah.
and we're going to leave one of them up, and it's going to turn into the Valentine's Day tree. And
Okay.
her and Katie, you take off obviously all the Christmas stuff, and then you put Valentine's stuff up.
Yes, I
and
have
we
friends
did-
that do that. They have a
Well-
small, narrow tree, and they change it for each season.
Well, that's my wife's grandparents were 90, and they didn't want to, get the tree up, pull it down, and all of that. And so that's what the girls all did. All the grandchildren did is they came in and decorated it every season with new stuff.
I think that's genius.
Yeah, it was kind of neat.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. So how was your Christmas? Did you get good gifts? Did the kiddos have fun?
Yeah, it was fun. We had everybody at the house, all except my sister-in-law that lives out by you. She came in July, and we had Christmas in July for all the cousins. But everybody else was at the house. I think we counted 15 people for several of the dinners, and I mean, it was a house full. I know other people have more than that, but for us, that was enough.
Yep, that was enough. Yep.
Enough. So had just enough room for everybody, and with the new house, we can kind of spread out around the house. That's kind of nice. In the old house, you sat on top of each other basically because it was a lot smaller.
Yep.
But it was good. Yeah, we had good presents and everything. And
Oh, good.
yeah,
Did you get your most recent John Grisham book? Because I've seen.
I did. My oldest daughter got that for me. I had started it. I'm a couple chapters in, and I left it upstairs. I didn't get to read it this morning because I left it upstairs and my wife was still sleeping, and it's never wise to wake her up. So
No. You gotta keep the wife happy wife.
happy
the
wife,
rest.
happy life. Yes, I know it well. I know it well.
Right. Yeah, I thought of you when I saw that some recent book programming came out and people are interviewing Grisham on the new book, and I'm like, oh, I bet Bill's all over that one. So
Yep. And you know what? I take that back. I got that for my birthday.
oh,
And I already read that. I was thinking of the new Dan Brown book. I'm sorry. I got the new Dan Brown book for Christmas from my oldest daughter, and I'm a couple chapters in.
Dan Brown, Da Vinci Code dude, right?
Yes, it's the newest installment in that series.
I didn't realize the series was still going.
Yeah, he uses
Took a long break.
same main character, and he solves puzzles all the way through all the books.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did the Grisham come out? I thought it was like in the last month or maybe.
No, it was October. I want to say like 20th, 21st, whatever that Tuesday was, right in there, because it was after my birth. It was like the week after my birthday.
Oh, well, it looks like Bookish Travels. She's read the new Dan Brown book. Forgive me, Bookish Travels. Can you let me know your name so I can, if you want to share it?
That's Melissa.
Melissa, thank you.
I believe. And I just clicked on the right thing. Now I'm seeing all the comments. I think I left the hello everybody in the wrong. I sent that to you, Peg. I meant to send it to everybody. Hello, everybody.
Oh, you sent that in a private chat or something?
Yeah, my bad.
That's cool. Now you can see the chat. Okay.
Well,
it's Julie. It's not Melissa.
Oh.
Sorry, Julie.
Yeah, no, if I'd have seen the little icon, I could have told you that too.
Okay.
What is Melissa? Oh, goodness. Sorry. Sorry, Julie. My bad. I didn't look at the icon. I could have said it if I seen the icon.
There, now we got it.
This is why you do not have dinosaurs running any technology. This is exactly why. This is why it was such a miracle that I figured out how to use the AI stuff and come up with thumbnails.
But see, change can happen, Bill.
It can happen.
So
yes.
you can definitely
can teach the old dog new tricks.
Opening a new chapter.
Yes.
In life. Well, I mean, if I like upgraded the StreamYard, and so I'm learning things. I'm learning things like let me just do this.
Oh, hey,
yes.
Time Travel Reads. I think that's the name of Melissa's channel. Time Travel Reads.
Time Travel Reads. Okay.
Yes. So,
all right.
Enough of my mistake. We can move on.
See, that's that. Those are the yeah. We're gonna have sound effects now.
I would have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave this. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun with it. Anyway, so New Year's Eve, and we are here talking books and doing catch-ups and all this kind of good stuff. Before we move into the books, how about we just really quick roundabout in the chat? What's everyone doing for tonight, New Year's Eve? Is it something that you do something really, exciting? Do you go out? Do you like to stay up to midnight? That kind of, I can answer. I am very boring. New Year's Eve to me is my least favorite holiday. I don't know why, and maybe it's just because it's just the end of the year, and sometimes I'll this year was great. I haven't looked back and say, oh, I didn't do this. I just feel light and breezy. But most New Year's Eve, it's just like I've left something undone. And I don't and I don't drink, so I don't go out and do all that. But and I'm usually in I might be in bed before midnight, or I'll be up reading at midnight and don't even notice. What about you, Bill?
I am doing absolutely nothing. I can't remember the last time I made it to midnight. I am an early riser. I go to bed at like 8:30. So to make it to midnight is like a miracle. My wife is making coconut Thai soup tonight, and that is my highlight.
Coconut Thai soup. I've never had that.
It is absolutely phenomenal.
Delicious. I mean, I like some Thai food. I do. I've never really done soups.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's delicious.
Wow.
She's perfected it. I got to get there we go.
There we go. So yeah, we're going to be just kind of chilling, the same. And, we might watch like a Riff Tracks or something funny. And then, more reading and good stuff like that. Let's look at the chat. What are folks saying in the chat? So Julie is in the UK. It's 8 o'clock there, 8 p.m. and she's already in the PJs. Hey.
Yeah, I love
being in PJs, Julie.
Brushing my teeth and pajamas on, getting ready to go to bed.
That's right. Let's see. Do you happen to know the icon for Meg, OATC1?
I do not off the top of my head anyway.
I'm going to guess your name is Meg, but I could be way off. But thanks for coming.
We're going to call you Meg until you correct it.
Until you correct it. But I love this quote because I desperately want to see the Nuremberg movie. I just have to plunk down some money to rent it. I think the rental is still kind of high on Prime, but definitely. Have you seen the trailers for that, Bill?
I have not. Yeah,
Russell Crowe is in it along with Rami. Oh, what's his name? Is it Rami?
Mitt?
Ram. It is Meg. All right, we got it right. He was in iRobot. No, not iRobot. Oh my God. He's a very interesting looking dude. Anyway, I think he won an Oscar for something, but for playing Freddie Mercury in that biopic.
All right, I'm gonna Google it on my phone here because now you got me wondering.
Yeah, and then Russell Crowe plays Goering, and and here's a bookish fact about that movie because I saw the trailer, and I don't know where it led me to, but I think it's based off of this book, and I put it in my Amazon cart because I want to get it, and it's called The Nazi and the Psychologist, and it was about their conversations while he was imprisoned. Oh, The Nazi and the Psychiatrist, Hermann Goering, Dr. Douglas M. Kelly, and A Fatal Meeting of Minds at the End of World War II. And of course, now the paperback version says, now the major motion picture Nuremberg. So that's, It's like $20 on Amazon, and I can't really seem to find it anywhere else. So I'd like to read this, but I might wait a little bit. Anyway. Oh, and Laverne, good luck with the fireworks. Yeah, and dogs. Keep everyone inside.
My dog hates fireworks. I don't think we'll have any fireworks, though.
Yeah, I think there will be some over here in our little town of Frederick. Hopefully it's not going to go on forever. Because we got a new puppy who's in the other room right now.
How's that
8-month-old Teddy. Oh, she's great. She's just a ball of energy. And now her and Daisy are just wrestling and they're playing and it's really cute. But yeah, I'm not sure how she reacts to fireworks. So we're going to find out. So this could be an adventure tonight.
So question, what's your temperatures in Colorado?
Oh my gosh. 58 degrees and sunny.
Yeah. It was like 5 degrees 2 days ago here in Iowa. And that's got to be close to what it is because I didn't wear a coat up here to school to steal internet here. Not steal, to borrow.
To borrow it. You've earned it. You've earned the right.
Here we go.
Right.
Open it all up.
Yeah.
45 degrees.
Okay, that's pretty decent.
I think it was warmer an hour or two ago. I want to say it was warmer, but
yeah, it's just going to be in the 50s and let's see. Yeah, it's going to be in the 50s for like the foreseeable future. Let me get that. I'm going to get that title here for Jamie.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, you were talking about Christmas.
Yes. Oh,
eat that, Detroit fans. Oh man, I couldn't help myself.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love how we're rivals in this in baseball. Luckily, in football, your team and my team are not in the same division.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Well, no. Oh, well, wait a minute. No.
We're both in the toilet.
Oh.
Oh man,
we're in the toilet bowl division.
This porta potty or this outdoor potty keeps getting deeper and deeper. It is terrible. Have you watched what's happened to our team?
I have. And then your guy tore his
our $500 million quarterback, $500 million, and I know it's not his fault, but yeah, he's out. And then our number 2 guy, he's out. It's
bad news. Kelsey's gonna retire.
Yeah, it's terrible. Well, he possibly should have retired 2 years ago, but
yeah, he probably should have.
Another time.
He probably should have retired because, whoops. Oh, I forgot I can do this. Let me
I can dinosaurs run things.
Wait a second. That's your laugh line there, Bill.
Well, somebody's laughing.
Okay, we're having too much fun. It's New Year's Eve, guys. We're gonna get to books.
All right, hey, I'll throw a book out. I'll be the first one to throw one out.
Do it.
So, I got to do my Christmas book haul. I haven't put that up yet. That's probably going to be recorded, I'm guessing, tomorrow. And I'll get that put up. But either tomorrow or Friday. But today in the mail, the reason I hadn't done it yet is I was waiting on the mail, and my mother-in-law got me I kind of chose what it was, but she got me an Amazon card, and I did not count this against my Read What You Own challenge because it was a Christmas gift. That's how I'm justifying that. I think I put that as one of my caveats. But anyway, I have been reading William Manchester's
there it is. Yeah.
The Last Lion. It's a trilogy.
Yeah.
And I have read earlier in the year, I read the first and second volumes. First volume took me forever. Long book. If you've ever read Manchester, you read American Caesar, right?
I think so, but that was ages ago.
But it's a big book. There's 3 of them that big.
I have that set, Bill. I haven't begun it.
It is phenomenal.
Is it?
It is excellent. I started, if I can get this right.
Yeah, I know.
This is volume 3, and he had to have a guy come in and finish the
And
series.
finish it.
Yeah, he died. He had all the notes and everything.
Yeah.
And it's really weird because I am not one that picks up on writing styles usually. There's a few authors where I'm like, yep, that's that author. But typically I can't pick up on that. I picked up on it here where I really like William Manchester, and I really like Paul Reed's writing maybe a little bit better. It's a little easier or a better flow to the writing. But anyway, I started this a couple days ago because I've been doing them on audio because I didn't have a copy of them. So when I say I finished the first 2 volumes, it was audiobooks, but now I have the hard copies. And now I've got the hard copy of the 3rd volume. And Churchill is now prime minister. He has just dealt with Dunkirk, and they've got the Blitz beginning to happen.
Okay.
So that's about where I'm at.
Okay.
They're worried about Nazi invasion, but it is phenomenal. It is so good.
Well, I have a question for you because, when I'm kind of a mood reader. I don't know if you are. I think you might have.
I am.
You are. Yeah.
Well, I have so many books going at one time, and I never finish anything in a appropriate time span.
Right. I have that issue as well sometimes. So like when I've read so much about Churchill in different books and shorter biographies, but when I feel like, okay, I'm ready for another Churchill read, now I'm kind of torn because I have that 3-volume Manchester set, but then I've heard glowing reviews about Andrew Roberts' massive 1-volume biography. Now
I have that one too, but I haven't read it.
Okay. So yeah, I was just curious if you saw like a difference between like what does like a multi-volume, what can those do or do better or do worse than a really thick 1-volume?
I think more detail, more letters.
More letters.
A lot more of the actual, and somebody else can disagree with me on this, that's fine. But I think they've got more letters, more of the speeches, more of all that kind of stuff, more primary materials.
Yeah. Okay, that makes
room to do it.
Yeah, and then just taking your time with the story, the narrative, and really kind of going more to the micro as opposed to the macro. Hey, let me guess. I'm gonna make a guess. Sus Prime. That's Sharon, right? You're Sharon, right? Please tell me I'm right. We're just 2 dinosaurs hanging out. Just kidding.
Yep.
We're not dinosaurs. Look at us. You could go out and try out for spring training with the Royals.
Well, I probably could. I could probably go to the Chiefs too at this point.
They would, and they probably put you in.
That is exactly right, and I'd be making a whole lot more money than I do now.
You'd be like Rudy, the Rudy story all over again.
Yes.
I got it right. Well, welcome, Sharon. And welcome to everyone who's joining us in our little intimate little New Year's Eve live stream. So as far as like talking about, how would you like to start off with, Bill? Like books we've read and then move into books we're currently reading and then maybe books we're about to start reading maybe in January or looking forward to, and then anything else. Like, do you have
goals?
I'd like to know what your reading goals are for 2026 too, if you have any.
Well, I had notes of, different things we could talk about, and that was definitely something I had on the list over here.
Oh, great.
So where do you want to start?
Well, let's start off with, let's just start catching up on the books that we've read.
So I have had, I have figured out how to maximize my reading time. And
give me some tips.
Well, it's nothing new, but I have done really well with my juggling of different books based on my mood.
Okay.
I've done really well at not stopping my reading. So like when I first started BookTube, there would be times where I would read, but then I'd have like a week where I didn't read anything.
Yeah.
Just because for whatever reason, I was just out of it. And I have figured out that if I've got like 10 or 12 books going, don't laugh.
No.
And I've got fiction, nonfiction, Civil War, World War II, a presidential biography, a little bit of everything. If I've got different choices, it keeps me reading. And then, so in the mornings, I've maximized my time, and in the evenings, I'm not going to the TV nearly as much as I used to. Used to watch movies and stuff all the time. And it's not that I don't anymore, but I am spending a whole lot more time reading. And I've gotten my wife where she's reading also, and that's been a lot of fun. And
Good.
then, so like my reading list looks like it's an absolute ton of books, but it's simply because I've like maximized my time. And I also wanted to put this out there because I know if you're on my Goodreads, there's probably people saying, yeah, right. Why are you lying? Because my number got huge. But I got to counting this last year's books. You want to know why the number got big?
What's that?
My daughter and I have been reading together, and I think I shared this with you. And when we finish a book, and I'm not talking like Berenstain Bear type books, I'm talking chapter books that are 100, 200 pages.
Okay.
She gets a kick out of going on to Goodreads and getting to hit the star on what she rates it.
Oh, yeah.
All of those books. So we've read like 100 different books together of like Boxcar Children, Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew, all those type of books. We've read like 100 of them this year. And so like my number on Goodreads looks, but it's because of that. The number's not really that big.
Well, I think that's wonderful, though.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. I'm dreading the moment that she thinks it's too cool to have daddy reading with her.
Oh, well, but
she just loves to have, she'll sit there and color in her color books while I'm reading the story to her. And she's hearing every bit of it because she stops me all the time asking questions. And do you think this would happen? Or, you know what I mean? You can tell she's engaged.
Yeah.
And so, I will do that until she ignores me. I will continue to do that.
Well, in the meantime, you're instilling the love of reading.
Yeah.
And she'll be a reader, as she goes into adulthood. So that's awesome.
Yeah. So I've had quite a few books because I was like, that's why I was looking at when was the last time we did one of these. Yeah. And I was trying to figure out how far back do I need to go to talk about the books.
Yeah.
And so let's see. Let's start with this one because I brought it. This was a reread. I did a lot of rereads too. This was a reread because we've been doing World War I and World War II in my 7th grade class. And I remembered reading this when I want to say in high school, and I may have read it one other time since then, but A Separate Peace.
Oh, okay.
By John Knowles. Have you ever read that?
No, but I've heard of it.
It's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could not. It's been so long. Like I remembered the first chapter, but I couldn't remember any of the rest of the book. And so it was basically a brand new read. Hey, I will tell you that's one of the great things about being a dinosaur is you can't remember when you do a reread. It's like reading it all over again because you can't remember it.
Well, that's true. And that's why we're doing a buddy read and it's a reread.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
In a second, in a little bit when we're talking about books we're still reading.
Yeah, so that's one that I read that I thought was quite good. I read All Quiet on the Western Front again.
Okay.
That's becoming like an every November read for me because we cover it in class, and I love the book. That was another one. What have you read?
Yeah, well, I should say so in the stack of books I'll be showing you, since we've last talked, I've read a lot more historical fiction. But I do have some history here. I think the last time we talked, I talked about this book, and I sent you a copy, The Three Roads to Gettysburg.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to be getting into that sometime in the near future. Yeah,
this was a new book. This came out, probably a couple months ago. Three Roads to Gettysburg by Tim McGrath, who I didn't realize. I've got his massive biography right behind me on James Monroe. It's in the corner over here. So I was like, oh, that book. So I didn't realize.
Was it good?
Yes. Oh, yeah. And this
And-
one too, or which one are you talking about?
Yeah, that one, the Gettysburg one.
You know, it was good. It was good. I just found that if you're really steeped in Civil War history, you might not find too many things that are new.
That's what that was my next question. Anything new out of it?
What I did appreciate was out of the three people that he uses them as avenues approaching Gettysburg. And it's not a full-on history of even the first 3 years of the war. It's basically light biographies of George Meade, even lighter on Abraham Lincoln, and then Robert E. Lee. And then how they, their roads led them to Gettysburg.
Mm-hmm.
But he skips over some of the initial, like, earlier battles. So it takes an interesting approach. I really enjoyed the section on George Gordon Meade, because that's the guy who usually gets the least amount of press. Even though he won the battle, he beat Robert E. Lee.
Probably deserves a lot more than he gets.
Yeah, he does. And so I learned a little bit more about, I got to read more of his private letters that he quoted from to, like, his wife, and got a sense of the man a bit more. And it kind of led me down to, looking at some of the books I've been meaning to still procure about Meade. And I think there's another one called Meade at Gettysburg, and it's a University Press book, but it really goes into detail about the battle itself and Meade's generalship. And then Abraham Lincoln, it was just it was kind of lightweight. And I'm sure, Bill, when you read this, you're gonna be like, yeah, everything about him. So he spends more time on, like, the Gettysburg Address and the writing of that.
Mm-hmm.
And Lee, I just think Lee is just kind of, at this point, there's really no redeeming this guy. There's not much to say about him, you know what I mean? But
yep.
Yeah. So, but I did enjoy it. But
well, real fast. So, Alan Gelzo is an excellent Gettysburg guy, right?
Yeah.
And he wrote that biography. We read that together, didn't we, on Lee?
Yes, we did.
Right. So was this take on Lee any different than Gelzo's, or what? Better, worse? Any opinion?
Well, I'm trying to remember what his take on. I'm trying to remember what I wrote about the Lee part. How it comes across for Lee is he does address his troubled relationship to slavery.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay, so real fast, does he say that Lee liked slavery or disliked slavery? Because I've seen books that go both routes.
See, this is the thing that kind of drives me nuts when it comes to Lee. You'll get these passages where he's the mighty righteous Christian,
mm-hmm.
And wants to do right by his slaves, but his case is that, but we take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't really do anything without us,
Yeah.
And so, but yet then we have the accounts, especially of a fantastic biography written by a historian who passed away in a car accident about 10 years ago. I'm trying to remember her name and the book, but it was reading Robert E. Lee. I think that was the name of the book.
I think I have that.
It's fantastic.
About yay big.
Yeah.
Red cover, is that right?
Like reading Robert E. Lee or reading the man or something like that. And but she cites, like, the evidence, the documentary evidence of that. He actually picked up a whip, but he beat his slaves at some point.
Yeah.
So that kind of contradicts the all, like, we're beneficent masters and all this kind of crap. So so what he says here is that basically Lee was racist.
Mm-hmm.
He maybe didn't like the maybe he thought economically slavery wasn't, viable, but he wasn't going to raise his sword against Virginia. And he was never about equal rights for the African Americans and freedmen and women.
Mm-hmm.
He never believed in that and espoused that. Now, people would say, well, Abraham Lincoln evolved on that because he was in a place too where he was like, well, they're not equal, But then later on, I think something shifted. And you being the Lincoln expert, especially right before he was assassinated, didn't he talk about in some of his correspondence that he was considering, voting rights, which was huge at the time. Yeah. So because that would mean citizenship, that would mean full equality, full civil rights, and I think that was what set Booth off. He's like, oh no.
Yeah, well, he gave his speech out the window of the White House, didn't he? Out on the lawn, and then Booth was there listening to it, and he goes, "Well, you know what this means? That means voting rights." I'll
voting rights.
Try not to say it like Booth did, but
yep. Yeah. So that was it was a good read. Like I said, it's great for people who are maybe coming to the Civil War kind of new. You get some really good light introductions. But there's far more in-depth stuff if you're an old hand at the topic as we are. So.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to that one. That's one I'm hoping to dive into in at least the first half of the year. You sent me that one, that James Donovan. And by the way, I did his book on the Alamo, James Donovan's book on the Alamo.
Oh,
and yes. I had already read several years ago his one on Custer's Last Stand.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and I really liked that book. And the Alamo book was all right. I'm looking forward to that World War II.
Excellent. Yeah. All right, good. I'm glad. The Alamo one I have too. Is it called The Blood of Heroes? Is that the?
Yes.
Yeah. I think I have that right over there. Yeah, and I was just at the Alamo like a couple years ago for a conference. Got to go visit it again and took some pictures there.
Well, I guess I could talk a little bit about that one because, like I said, I just finished it a couple days ago.
Oh, sure, yeah.
That one was really neat because I'm not very. I don't know a ton about it, and so I'm kind of new to the subject. I mean, I know the basics, but I don't know the details, and so that was a good book for me, and it's kind of neat. It goes through chapters. He highlights Davy Crockett and Jim Bowie and Santa Anna and all the was it Dickinson? Is that the name of the lady that was there?
Dickinson.
Her and her daughter.
Oh.
Am I right on the name?
I don't know.
He highlights all of those in chapters, all to each individual person, and then in between there, he's telling the story, and so you get these little vignettes of the people and their how they came to be at the Alamo, and that was really good for me because I wasn't super familiar with a lot of those stories because that's just not my niche area. But so I enjoyed that. That was pretty good.
Excellent. Okay. Well, all right. Well,
here's one. I got one handy here. So I had my language arts teacher had handed me the newest book by Tim Green. Are you familiar with Tim Green?
Green or green?
Green, like the color.
Green. Well, I might be once I see the book.
Okay, well, this is not the one because she's got that one, but this is one I had at home. I ended up reading these are middle grade books, middle grade sports. Okay. So yeah, you guys come to the History Channel. You don't just get history; you get a little bit of everything. You got to remember, you got the ADHD mind of Bill Ruttenberg who can't stay on topic. So I have to bring in some of my loves. I've kind of made it a mission the last couple of years, and I've shared this on my channel quite a lot about trying to read these middle grade books that the kids are reading. Because I found that the more conversations I can have with the kids about reading, the more that I can lead them to other books, they can lead me to other books. It's a really fun conversation. And then, not to mention, when they figure out that I've got a booktube channel,
Yeah.
that just blows up into a whole other thing.
Right.
Anyway, she brought me the newest Tim Green book, and it was all about a boy football player who's, oh gosh, how old was he? He's like a fifth or sixth grader. Now, to me, the stories are a little bit unreal. For a middle schooler to read it, they're going to love it. But
Mhm.
as an adult, and I'm looking at the reality, like running a spread offense with a fifth grade group of kids, sixth grade group of kids, that's not happening. You're lucky to get your hand off.
Right.
You're lucky to get the ball from the center to the quarterback.
Hey,
But
it's kind of like the Lions right now.
yeah, we won't talk about how elaborate the story gets. But outside of football, the main character, his dad is dealing with, is it CTE? Is that the
The concussion.
yes?
Yeah.
And it has led to, what was the big problem he was having? Oh my goodness, what was it? Not Parkinson's. Maybe it was Parkinson's. Oh, it was leading to one of the other really bad diseases that
Okay.
they have no fixes for.
Oh, is that like Huntington's? Maybe not. I think because that one's really bad. That one's horrible.
It's not. It is not Parkinson's. I said the wrong one because now I'm remembering somebody else here in our town that had it.
Yeah.
Anyway, doesn't matter. But it was a really heartfelt story. Really, really well written for kids. Kids are going to eat it up. But I read this one, Best of the Best. This was about a really good baseball player who his parents are getting a divorce.
Okay.
And dad is creating another family and dealing with the issues that kids deal with, and putting it into a good sports story. But Tim Green's been a fun one to read here of late. I like I said, I think I've read 3, maybe 4 of his books, and they're really fast. For an adult, they're a really fast read.
Fast read. Excellent.
Yeah, so anybody's got kids out there that don't like to read, but they like sports, you might try Tim Green.
Okay.
Mike Lupica's another one that's really good. I have some more books of his on my shelf that I need to tackle.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Excellent. Well, I'll mention a book that I've read, and some of these are like books that are coming out because these are books I review ahead of time. This one was great. This is Carthage, A New History by Eve MacDonald. This is coming out next month. This is by Norton Publishing. It doesn't say which date in January, but so like lovers of ancient history, and I've always been a big fan of reading about the Punic Wars and just the rivalry between Rome and Carthage. So I've read some books already on Carthage, just in the past. But I haven't read a more recent, biography of sorts of a city. But this one was great, and I have a review of this coming out in Shelf Awareness relatively soon. So as far as like what's new in this book about Carthage, do you know much about Carthage, Bill? Or
not a ton.
Okay.
They fought Rome.
Hannibal, the general, came from there, and okay.
Yep.
This one, she kind of uses a lot more of like the archaeological record and excavations and new findings from excavations. She kind of speaks a little bit about how Rome would paint Carthage as these abominable child sacrificers and all this kind of stuff. And well, she speaks about the culture in general and at large, and just how it was, very vibrant. But she doesn't stray away from the fact, there is new evidence showing that they for some reason they were a very pious society as well. And they found these urns in this one excavation, which showed like just ash, which they, did all their testing on, and it showed that they were infant remains. So for whatever reason, and they were always deposited near this thing called a tophet, like some type of altar or a totem. And it could be for like a sacrifice. maybe the baby already died. We don't know. We don't know if they did it willingly or if it was like, but there is evidence, they did do that. But she makes the point, like, child sacrifice was not unknown in the ancient world. So it wasn't like Carthage was just like the only, society doing that. But along the way, it's just great, oh, this is like something they call the toe fit, like it's kind of shaped like this. But anyway, I really enjoyed it. It kind of brought together. It went into decent detail on the Punic Wars, the first, second, and third. But I don't know. She kind of made a case for that. Carthage was, she underscores the fact that, excuse me, the victors usually write history, right?
Mm-hmm.
So by the Third Punic War, Rome completely destroyed Carthage, salted the earth, we're just like, it will never rise again. So Carthage never had a chance to really tell their side of the story. It was like the history that we know about Carthage comes from Roman historians. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, one-sided. Definitely one-sided.
Definitely one-sided. So she kind of corrects the record a bit and really gives like a full-throated kind of defense of Carthage in here, and I really enjoyed it. So this book is coming out next month, guys. If any of you are interested in ancient history, I highly recommend it.
Okay, so that's a great segue to a new reading event. Not a new one; it's in its 4th year, but
right.
It starts tomorrow in how many hours? However many hours it is from now, 9 hours from now. Historathon 2026. It's a year-long reading initiative for history nonfiction, and in the first quarter, January, February, March, we will be reading prehistory to 500 AD. So if you're looking for a good book, there it is.
There it is, guys. And I'm asking now in chat, how many of you out there are participating in Historathon? I had to kind of drop out. I know Bill is. I had to drop out as a host just because I was just overwhelmed with things, but also because I read history all year long. But I love following Historathon. You know what I mean? I love watching you guys put together your videos, seeing what you're reading. And it kind of will spur me to like, oh yeah, I'm going to pick up that book that I've been meaning to get to,
So Peg, are you still in the Discord then?
I think I am.
Did you see it blow up over the last 3-4 days?
Did it blow up? I get. Oh yes, it has. I keep getting these alerts. I'll drop down at the top.
My phone's been buzzing this whole time.
That's right.
It is awesome. It is awesome. We've had a ton of new people come into the Discord, and I'm guessing there's probably some that are participate, or a lot of them that are participating that don't get into the Discord.
This is fantastic.
Excuse me. But it's been just awesome. Vin did a magnificent job of putting all this together, and it's really run. It's created its own wheels at this point. And
I love it.
Yeah, it's just really neat to listen to all these different people who like history.
Let's look at this. We got yep, and it is hopping, huh?
Yeah.
We got
glad to have you again. I'm gonna take a wild guess that you're Rachel.
Yeah, yes, right.
On a budget.
Here's one. Try to guess what Blue Toast's name is.
Blue Toast is from Kansas City.
Oh, you know this.
Yes, and I'm trying to remember her name. If I have the right person, I'm pretty sure I have the right person. Yeah, because she sent me. If it's the same one, she sent me Emily. Yes,
Emily.
But you're not from Kansas City. I was thinking you were from Kansas City. Well, anyway, she'd sent me a book on, oh gosh, what president? Late 1800s. Was it Cleveland or Garfield? One of them. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah.
But, anyway.
Look at that. I love it.
I am from KC. Yes. Memory works.
Yeah, I just got another alert. Looks like John just posted.
Yeah, so this thing has just been, it's been neat. I'm sure my wife's annoyed. Quit looking at your phone.
I know, right? Or I have to mute my phone sometimes because otherwise it's ding, ding, ding. And then Martine's like, what's going on with your phone? Like, look.
The way it is.
It's the way it is. I'm
Well-
involved in a lot of different things here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's been Cleveland. There we go.
Cleveland. All right.
But-
Recommendations.
What was I going to say? I forgot.
Well, this
Okay.
one, Laverne,
Oh, there you
but
go.
it comes out in January, so I don't know if it's early January or later. Look at all the underlining I did in this book.
Well,
This is how I review books, guys. I annotate, I make notes, if you're curious. Yeah, anyway, fascinating stuff. I'll think of another, well, do you have a recommendation for Laverne for ancient history? I know
that's not my cup of tea.
So do you struggle in the first quarter when you do Historathon? Or?
I have had, I was looking at last year. I had, what was it, 6 or 8 books that I went through. Most of them in the first quarter, but I had to finish a couple of them like way later because I struggled with them. So like SPQR, yeah, Vin told me you probably shouldn't read that yet. And I was like, I can figure it out.
Oh, Barry Beard's book? Yeah.
It was over my head. There was so
like
much
specialist
stuff going on.
of specialists.
But I'm glad I did because the last 1/3 of that book is mainly social history. So like marriages and women's history and slave history and that kind of stuff. And I really, really enjoyed that.
All right. Well, let me.
What was your question?
Oh,
Do I struggle in that
you
area?
struggle in the first quarter.
I struggle to pay attention in that area. I've found books, and I've been getting books from university presses that they've sent me, and so I've had books. Just knowing what the heck I'm reading, like getting the context of everything, has been my struggle.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I got you. Because if it's kind of like a
Brand new.
It's brand new. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to answer that question for Dirijo Turtle? How should she get involved with her Historathon? Like, would you recommend downloading Discord and then maybe looking up videos with the hashtag Historathon? Or
that is what I would do. I would start with the YouTube thing because that'll be a way of figuring out if you want to be there, get involved or not. But Historathon 2026 is the hashtag for all of the videos. And I think all of us have put up our announcement video to just explain what it is. And then I put mine up right before we started here. I put up my first quarter pile of possibilities, things I'm possibly going to read, some, stuff to dig through. I'm trying to remember if everybody else has. I cannot remember if everybody else has or not. But I've been gone from the house, so I haven't been able to YouTube surf all that much. But the Discord server would be an excellent way to get involved. And if you look in, I would go to Vin's announcement video in his description box on the YouTube video. It has a link to the Discord. I tried to do it, but again, I'm a dinosaur and I'm too dumb to figure out how to make it a link.
Well,
I didn't do a very good job.
Listen.
I try.
And I think everyone here are very
understands that I'm an idiot. Thanks, Peg.
No, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say I think people understand that not all of us have a Gen Z or Gen A now approach to all the new things coming out, which is technology and everything else. I mean, the fact that I'm doing this live stream is wow. I'm pretty. Yeah, I'm happy with my where I'm at.
Kids see me do stuff like this, they're pretty amazed because they know I don't do a lot with the. I mean, I say I don't do a lot. I probably do a lot more than I give myself credit for, but I don't do the technical stuff. There's a whole lot of technical, and they're always coming out with new stuff. And
yep, they always are.
Well, it doesn't match my teaching style either. So your strengths, and it's not my strength.
Well, your thumbnails are definitely.
Oh, that's the first time I've done it though.
But you're gonna probably keep doing it because that is.
Oh yeah, that's fun. That's
fun. Yeah, you're gonna see one from me real soon because I was just like, I got to get on this train.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so hopefully that will get you started there, Dirijo Turtle. Lots of videos, and each video, like Bill said, will give you the instructions of how it works each quarter, and then links to the Discord, right? Like, and then you just download a Discord app on your phone if you have a smartphone, or I guess even on your laptop, right?
You do it on your laptop too.
Okay, yeah.
And a lot of people find it easier on the laptop than they do on the phone.
Oh yeah. Oh, I hate texting on the phone. I call like fat fingering it, but it's like I don't have fat fingers, but it's like these screens are so small. I'm like, I'm screaming at it. I just want my keyboard,
Yep.
Oh yeah, Cleopatra. Everyone has raved about Stacy Schiff's.
I read that one 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was maybe that first year, maybe the second year. I can't remember. It's either the first or second year of a Storathon, and that was good because I didn't know anything about Cleopatra.
That's one title that everyone was reading that I didn't, because I've read other biographies on Cleopatra. Mm-hmm. One by Joyce Tildesley. I'm guessing she's an English writer. So that one was decent, and I've read another one, and I was just like, well, I think I know all there is to know, but maybe not. Maybe the way Stacy Schiff writes it, it's just really.
I like her writing style.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. She's written. I read her book this year on Ben Franklin, and that one was good. I did the Cleopatra. The one on the Salem witch trials is phenomenal.
Oh, I need to get that one.
I really, really enjoyed that book.
What did you learn from that? Was there something like something or
there was, she gave, so why did it happen? Like what really happened? And she gave a whole bunch of different options of what it could have been. Mm-hmm. And she, it wasn't just, she said it was one thing. She did, I feel that she did lean towards, the girls and just having attention in that time period, because kids were, they're, what's the old saying? My little kids are meant to be seen and not heard. Little pictures are meant to be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
And, so a lot of it was for attention is what, she was getting at. And then with that, what I really liked was just the women's history, the social history of what it was like for women and little girls in that time period. And I got a lot out of that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. Well, Laverne's going to be checking out Stacy Schiff as well. So now you've got a couple recommendations. To get started for the first quarter. I'm going to show another book because it kind of follows along on Carthage, but this one is going to be historical fiction. I plan on doing another video in January talking about these two books because I was reading them. What do you call it? Oh God, I can't find words anymore, Bill. When you're doing something side by side in tandem, or I'm thinking of a C word here. I don't know what it is, but
you're not supposed to say that word. Oh, I just snorted.
I don't want to say what you're.
I'm embarrassing myself left and right.
Yeah, it's so funny because I won't even go there, but
you can't even keep a straight face.
Well, it was so funny. I was saying to Martine the other day, she said something. She was kind of like mimicking what the dogs might be saying to each other, and they were wrestling. Mm-hmm. Daisy and Teddy are getting along great. Well, Roxy and Daisy are like this. Mm-hmm. Roxy is a little jealous of Teddy moving in on her girl. Mm-hmm. And she will run in and go, ah. And so Martine's like, you get away. She's like voicing it, and she was cracking me up. She dropped the C word, and I about spit out my drink. Like she was calling Daisy that. And I'm like, oh my God, here's the thing. I cannot say that word. I just won't. So I call it the C word.
Yeah. I just know that's not one you're supposed to use.
I know you're not supposed to use it, but
yeah.
So anyway, concurrently, thank you, Emily. Okay, so I'm reviewing this. I'm writing a review of this for Historical Novels Review, but this is called The Wandering Queen by Claire Haywood. Now, you know that there's been a spate of these type of books lately that are historical fiction based on ancient myths
Mm-hmm.
or in ancient Greek
There's
gods and
a
stuff
bunch
like
of
that.
those out.
There's been tons, like Troy, and oh gosh, I mean Jennifer Saint. His
Have
book.
you read a bunch of them? I have read
Yes,
none of
I
them.
have. I've read about 3 of Jennifer Saint's books. Hera. Well, what was the first one? Ariadne.
Circes?
What's that?
Is there a Circes or something like that?
Oh, Circe was by another writer, and I think I have that copy. I have not read that one yet. But this one, this Claire Haywood, I actually bought one of her back issues, Daughters of Sparta. I picked up a copy in one of my recent book outlet book hauls.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoyed this. So I'm gonna go back and read her other one. But this book is coming out in February. But I got an advanced copy. This is about Dido, Queen Dido of what? Carthage. So you see what I'm saying? Bam.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yep.
was reading the history, which begins with Dido. Eve McDonald talks about the story, the myth of Dido. She was originally, her name was Alyssa. And she was, it's fascinating how Carthage rose from the kingdom of Tyre, which was an island off the coast of like where the Phoenicians came from, like the Levant area. But her brother Pygmalion, her half brother, basically killed her husband, and she just was like, "I'm taking people, and we're going to find a new land." So she begins the book talking about Dido, and when she came to Carthage and founded the city, she changed her name, or someone changed the name to Dido, which means the wanderer or something.
Hmm.
Anyway, so that's where Claire Haywood gets the name the Wandering Queen.
Huh.
And it just imagines her life. And what I loved about this, and the other thing about Dido is people know from the myths, is that it ties in with the history of Troy and the founding of Rome, right? Because Aeneas was the prince who escaped Troy with his father and his son, and then was like shipwrecked or something with his men on the island or on the land of the North African coast where Carthage was, and he found shelter. Queen Dido welcomed him and his men for a while, and they fell in love. So that was the whole thing. But Aeneas had his own. He's like, I can't stay. I'm called to refound a new Troy of sorts. I've been called by the gods to find my own country and found this empire or whatever. So he breaks her heart. That's the myth, right? And the myth is she's so bereft at his leaving that she throws herself on a fiery pyre at the end. So the Wandering Queen does have a bit of a twist at the end, which is I kind of appreciated. What I liked about this is that it didn't focus on Aeneas that much. It wasn't about their love story. It was about her story back in her original land, and her first husband, whom she really probably had the deepest love for, was her he was a priest at the temple. Zacherbal was his name, or something like that. Zacherbal. So Aeneas himself he's not like, hogging up the screen time. Anyway, I enjoyed it, and it's coming out in February from Dutton. But it makes for a nice like balance. You get like history, and then you get like some nice fiction that kind of fills out, the story. So there's my entry.
Let's see. Anything else I want to? Okay, two more that I've read that I thought maybe I don't remember if I told you about this one because I can't remember the last time we did our video. But Barack Obama's A Promised Land.
Oh,
I read that. I'd had it for a while and finally read it, and that was a pretty good book.
well, tell us about it. What's he talking about in there?
I don't know. I just liked his writing style, I guess. And I don't know if he had a ghostwriter or whatever for that, or if it's actually him. I'm not sure. You never can tell with those kind of books, but
Yeah, I get the feeling that Barack Obama does most of his own writing. From what I've read and just when he was president, he would really go through his speeches.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, the bones of it might be written by his speechwriters, but he would take hours to kind of go through and rewrite. I
Mm-hmm.
think he's a good writer. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he needs that much. Probably just has a good editorial and editor.
Mm-hmm.
I think he probably just does it himself.
Well, one of the things I've done the last year or two is I've went back. I used to never read recent history, recent biographies, because there's just not enough time to take out the bias,
Yeah.
or at least some of the bias. But in the last year or two, I've started doing that. And so, like, I read, I got to think of his name, George H.W. Bush's biography by John Meacham.
Oh,
I enjoyed that. I, of course, a few years back read the Richard Nixon trilogy by Stephen Ambrose. I read, let's see, I'm reading My Life. I've been reading that for close to 20 years now.
My Life?
By Bill Clinton.
Oh,
It's one of those. It's interesting. I'll read one or two chapters, and
yeah.
it's like 1,000 pages. I'll read one or two chapters, and then I just put it down, and I don't come back to it for months. I have no idea why, but I've been reading that for literally almost 20 years. Uh, but then I read George Bush's a biography on George Bush, and I cannot remember who wrote that one. And then I read this A Promised Land, and then I read that. Have you read Fight about the last election?
No.
About
Is that
about
by Bob Woodward? Or
no, this one is Jonathan Allen, I think is his name.
and this was about the Biden
The 24
I'm
election.
sorry, the Kamala. Okay, yeah.
Yes, it was about Biden, Kamala, and Trump. And that
Trump,
was kind of interesting just because we just lived through it.
yes.
You watched all that play out on TV and everything. So I've been reading a lot of these that are more recent
Yeah.
items, and it's just been real interesting. And it was neat to see Obama's perspective on stuff. And
Okay.
when I went into one of the most interesting parts was I went into the book thinking, yeah, he's going to destroy Bush. He's not going to have anything good to say about Bush. He actually had quite a few. I mean, I'm not going to say he went out of his way to compliment him, but he was very fair with Bush.
Are you talking about W.
Yes.
W. Bush?
Yes.
You know what? I'm not surprised. And you want to know why?
Why is that?
There's like this, I don't want to say little known, but it's commonly held among people like within the political sphere that W and the Obamas are actually really friendly with each other. And in fact,
I did not know that.
There's footage of there's this joke going around that W loves Michelle Obama.
Oh.
They were seen at like those state funerals. They would be sitting next to each other. There was like footage of him he's like leaning over and giving her a mint, and she's like taking a mint from him. She's like, "Oh, all right," and then they're just talking, and he's always chatting her up. Mm-hmm. And it's well known that they like each other a lot.
They're friends.
They're friends, and also I just think it comes from a previous period of our political history where Democrats and Republicans were not as I mean, I don't even have the word
as today.
Oh yeah, because it is another level of just horrific. I mean, it makes me think a lot about the parallels to the Civil War.
Yeah.
But there was a time where they just understood, hey, we both work in the same industry, mm-hmm. And after we leave we leave our debates and stuff, they're out getting drinks and dinners together, and you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But now it's something completely different. But yeah, I'm not surprised that he, of course there's going to be those policy differences between, Obama and Bush and stuff like that.
Yeah, he says that.
Yeah. But I think overall he kind of was just like, he understands that Bush he's not a bad guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was one thing I got out of that.
Yeah.
And then the last one that the last one I'll bring up about recent reads. It's called, and you may be familiar with this one, The Prodigal Prophet. Jonah, the Mystery of God's Mercy.
Ooh, who wrote this?
Timothy Keller.
Oh, I know Timothy. Well, I don't know him, but
I really like his writing style.
I've never read the book on Jonah, though.
Oh, it's good. It's a fast read.
Well, I'm going to have to write that down again. Could I get that name again?
Yes, The Prodigal Prophet.
Oh, I like it.
Keller. But I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really good. I've been engrossed in the book of Jonah for the last year and a half. It's become one of my favorite books in the Bible. And
Is it just for like a church, like Bible study, or did you just decide, hey, I'm going to read the book of Jonah and then really kind of, examine it or study?
Well, when I was filling in the pulpit I fill in for a couple different churches when I'm needed, and I was doing it more almost full time down south of here, there for almost 2 years, and I was starting to the job of a pastor is putting all that together is hard. I was just going to say that, but if you're doing it on a regular basis, and I was trying to figure out how to do it, so I started going through books and just doing book studies in the sermons, and we went through Jonah, and there's a lot of stuff in that book. Those 4 chapters hold a lot of in-depth stuff, and that Timothy Keller book, it was just really good. You'll have to read it and let me know what you think.
I will. I definitely will. Just because I'm curious, are you like the full-time pastor there now?
No.
Okay.
I stepped back. It was my anxiety was going through the roof. It's not that I didn't enjoy doing it, and I was glad to help out, but it was becoming more of a full-time thing, and I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah. Okay.
And my anxiety was going through the roof, and I was just struggling with that.
It's a lot. I mean, you've got you're a teacher, you've got a family, and a new home you're still probably working on, and got projects for. It is a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot. Well, good. I'm glad that you recognized, I had to do that too in some areas of my life like a year ago, and I was just like, I can't do everything.
Yep.
I just can't. And I was operating for a long time as if I could, and it was making me physically sick.
Yep.
So.
Well, and my wife had me back out of a couple. It's not her fault that didn't come out right. Through our discussions, I backed out of a couple of my coaching assignments too.
Yeah. Because you were doing that in addition. That's so much.
Yeah, I cut my coaching load in half. So, yeah, it was a lot. But anyway,
all right.
Yeah, do you have any others that you've read recently that you want to talk about? Yes.
Some of them are on like Kindle, and I don't have like, dust jacket covers. On the faith line, I just finished reading yesterday and actually wrote a review of it. It's a brand new book called Creation, Life, and Purpose by this guy named Mike Bills. And he wrote it as like a letter to his children, where he says, he kind of makes the case that science and the Bible do align on certain things. It wasn't a comprehensive, like, apologetic for like, hey, science and faith can coexist. He mostly focused on the creation story in Genesis, but he had some really original, interesting theories. I don't know how they would stand up, to, rigorous, because I'm not a scientist, right? But he definitely had he knew Hebrew. He was translating Hebrew, like, side by side with the Genesis accounts, and talked about how the contradictions that people say science say, like in the Bible, like with the flood, like there's no way scientifically the flood could happen as it was written, as it was stated, that it wasn't a global thing. This author says it was a localized flood, because if you translated certain Hebrew words in Genesis, land does not mean, I mean, he breaks it down, and he's saying there's no way that the heavens could have created the amount of water that it would take to submerge, right, the entire globe. And he agrees with that. And he says, so what happens is that, the Bible oftentimes is interpreted way too literally. And sometimes the translations of the words are the stumbling block, So I found that was an interesting take, that the Great Flood was a localized event, which also meant that Noah didn't have to have every species known to man on the globe. He was saving the region, the region that he lived in, right? He was taking those animals in. And so it was interesting that he had some really original approaches to the creation story. And then the second half of the book was more about that kind of brought in the purpose. And he kind of geared it more, it kind of changed gears from this really muscular intellectual wrangling with the science and then the translations, and then he kind of moves into moral and Christian living. So seems like they were two separate books, but then he kind of ties it up again at the end. So it was called Creation, Life, and Purpose by Mike Bills, and it was interesting. I read it on my Kindle.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but
go ahead. Sorry.
No, go right ahead. I know that's not history per se, but it kind of.
No, that's all right. I've thrown some in here that weren't history. So,
all right.
One I started this morning that I should have started a long time ago. It was I believe, a birthday gift. I don't think it was Christmas. I think it was a birthday gift from a fellow booktuber. He got me the Michael Burlingame 2-volume set.
Wow.
50 books, and if you could feel the weight of them, they are heavy. But I should have started this a long time ago, and I cracked it this morning. And what did I get? The first chapter? Yeah, the first chapter. And it's really good. Okay. It's very, very good. Have you read Michael Burlingame?
That's what I haven't read, but I'm surprised you haven't read it already, because I feel like you've read every biography that there is.
No. And this kind of leads me into with my current reads and what I'm planning to read. One of my goals for 2026 is to read some of these multi-volume series that I've had on my shelf that I specifically bought those, for the purpose of, studying for my classroom and everything. And I've just sat on my shelf. And one of my goals this year, I have 3 specific series aside from this Abraham Lincoln one that I really want to really knock out. I have the Flexner, James Thomas Flexner, Washington set.
Oh, I have that set.
Yes, I have read the first volume.
Okay.
And I stopped. I don't know why I stopped. It was good.
Was it good?
It wasn't a hard read. It was good.
Okay.
And I think it still, for the most part, stands the test of time. And so I want to go back and read that one.
Okay.
The Dumas Malone, Thomas Jefferson, I think there's 6 books in that.
Oh, yes.
I want to go. I have not read any of those. I sought those out and finally found cheap enough copies to buy. And I have that set. I want to read that. And then Alan Nevins's Civil War. There's 8 volumes. I bought the reprint 4-volume. It's got 2 volumes per deal.
That's the Ordeal of the Union?
Yes. I want to read that. That was on my goals, I think, for the last 2 years. And I'm going to put it on for a 3rd year in a row.
Wow. I just, when I was a kid, that complete set was available, and I was trying to get my mom to buy it for me. But now I cannot find these books. I was able to find one book used, and it was beat up all to hell. And it's just impossible for me to find the complete set. I would love to have that complete set and read it. I've been wanting to read it since I was little, and it's hard to find.
And I'm sorry, squirrel. Is that the Civil War one you're saying?
Yeah, Ordeal of the Union.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Sorry. I'm trying to read the chat and listen at the same
time. I know. I'm trying to put some comments up there for you.
Well, Well, thank you, Becky. Yeah.
Yes. And then we've got
Yeah.
Christina. She approves of your plan.
Yep.
Third time is the charm.
Yep.
Yeah, the sets are interesting. When I'm ready to read a Lincoln biography again, I need to work on my set by Seymour Hersh. Is it Seymour Hersh? Wait, no, that's the Camelot guys.
The only Seymour I know is Seymour Butts. Don't you remember the book he read?
Wait a second.
Under the Bleachers by Seymour Butts.
Yeah, that is funny. Wait, no, it's not Hersh. It's Blumenthal.
Sidney Blumenthal.
Sidney Blumenthal, not Seymour Hersh. He wrote The Dark Side of Camelot, I believe, but
we'll see. Oh, yeah, I have that book. Never mind who you're talking about.
Yeah. But I have this whole set of Sidney Blumenthal's biography on Lincoln. Now, have you read that? And do you recommend it?
I have read the first 2 volumes, and I am in volume 3.
Okay. And what do you think?
Okay, so he is with his take on Lincoln, it's a little trying to think of how to describe. Like in the first volume, he is very much about Lincoln was against slavery, and it feels like I'm probably over exaggerating, but Lincoln was against slavery from his birth. I mean, yeah, he takes it like at a very, very early age, he was against slavery. And I'm not saying that the foundations of his hate of slavery wasn't built there, but I don't think, I don't know. I think he stretches it a little bit. And then volume 2 is basically a history of the 1850s. It's not a Lincoln biography.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's bad. If you are new to the 1850s, you probably ought to read it. I mean, it's good. Just it's not in my eyes, it's not a Lincoln biography. And so now I'm in the 1858 to 1860 book, the 3rd volume. And I'm just curious, is he going to get volume 4 done? The Civil War part.
Right. I don't know how old he is, but
it's been several years since that book came out. I think it came out when I first got on BookTube. I think it was probably 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago.
Yeah.
No.
Well, is there a Lincoln biography or whether it's 1 volume or more that you recommend that you think is the best?
What I would have to do is recommend you to my YouTube video on Lincoln, where I talk about all the best Lincoln books that I have read.
Oh, thank you.
No, I'm kidding. It depends on what era of his life you're wanting. I think if you're talking the 1850s, I think Don Fehrenbacher's Prelude to Greatness is one of the. It's a real thin volume, but it is extremely powerful. It is really, really good.
Okay.
I think Team of Rivals was excellent by Doris Kearns Goodwin.
Yep, that was a great one.
Holzer.
Harold Holzer.
Harold Holzer. Anything that he does is really good.
Yep.
His book on the secession winter. So it's just the 1860 to 61 winter when he gets elected to the time he takes the presidency.
Yeah.
That one is phenomenal. Carl Sandburg's, I still love it. That was one of the first ones that I read. That was a big compilation.
Yeah. So, all right.
Those are some of them. I'd have to look at my bookshelf to tell you some more. I've read a lot of good ones.
Okay. Well, excellent. Well, I guess we better plow through some more books before I don't know how much longer you have. I know we've got it. You're good. Okay. I'm gonna just run.
Let me give you one more.
What's that?
And I got to think of his last name. It's called Lincoln's Melancholy by Joshua Wolf Schenck.
I think I read that.
That was awesome. That was a phenomenal book. That would be another good Lincoln one. It's all about his depression.
His depression. Wasn't that the book where they talked to about his relationship with Anne Rutledge, and that really kind of impacted him mentally?
Yes.
Yeah.
it was, well, it talks about all of the losses that he had in life.
Yes.
From his mom to his sister to that, to losing his kids,
Mhm.
to not knowing whether to marry or not. There was a lot of stuff it goes through. It's pretty. I mean, it's not a huge book, but it's pretty in depth.
Mhm.
So,
Speaking of Mary Todd Lincoln,
mhm.
do you think he should have married her?
Do I think he should? I think.
I mean, we can't know people's hearts, but
Well, here's
I mean,
my take on it. He
yeah,
truly loved her.
but he
I think,
backed out of the engagement at first.
yeah, but to stay with the woman after all that, he truly loved her.
No, he did, and he was a dutiful man too. I think, I,
Yeah.
I, I think marriage back then was definitely more of a, hey, there's no,
Well,
prenups and there's no divorce. There's
and Lincoln though, he would have been a tough man to marry.
all right. Let's talk about that because he was so, well, she liked his ambition,
No,
but
oh yeah, she was a driver behind him. Uh,
mhm,
I mean, well, I'll just give you an example of how she saved him. And it doesn't sound like she saved him, but she saved him when I got to think here. Oh, he was offered the governorship out in Oregon, and he about took it because he backed up. Oh goodness, what election was it? Was this 1852 maybe?
mhm,
I'm
or
spitballing here, but
yeah,
anyway, the he wanted, which job was it? He wanted was it the land office, the land distribute land there in the Midwest? Is that the job?
like the assayer or something, or they call it the land.
Yeah, there was a
Something like
job
that.
that he wanted that he did not receive, that he thought he was going to get because of the spoils of war, right?
Yeah.
He backed him up like he was supposed to. He thought he was going to get that job. He was not offered it, and then they offhandedly offered him, well, we got the governorship of Oregon. And Mary Todd said, absolutely not. You are not taking that job. That would be sending us out in the wilderness and we'll never be seen again. You
Mhm.
will be president of the United States someday. You are not taking that job.
Good
And
for
I
her.
don't know that she said those words exactly, but that's essentially, what she was getting at.
Mhm.
So he had to go back to being a lawyer,
Yeah.
which, that was what it was. And it bothered her, or
Mhm.
it bothered him because he wanted that job, and she saved him by not letting him take that, which allowed him to get back into politics in 1854, and then the rest of the story.
Yeah. Yep.
Paul Harvey, right?
That's right.
Yep.
The rest of the story. I got that reference. Thank you. Thanks for answering that question. I'm always curious to know your thoughts on that because I think Mary Todd Lincoln, she was definitely a difficult woman, but I think she had some mental, well, we know
Oh
she
yeah.
had some health issues and probably maybe some bipolar things
Mm-hmm.
going on there. But
Well,
she
you
did
said,
help him. She wasn't,
well, you said speak to Lincoln's faults though. She's got those issues, and she shows them like early on when they lose the child early on.
mhm.
And what does he do? Does he stay? And keep in mind, I love Lincoln, but everybody's got their faults. Does he stay home and coddle her and give her the attention that she probably needed to get through her rough time? No, he takes off.
He
And
went back to work.
yeah, he did that time and time again. And he could have been there for her emotionally to help her through that time. And so I don't know, different time
Well,
too.
yeah, yeah, I think he lost himself. I mean, work was it helped him deal with his grief.
Well, that was his
And
out.
she didn't have work, so that was the problem,
Nope.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks, Sharon, for joining. She's got to go cook a New Year's Eve meal. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna just hop back in real quick to a couple of other historical fiction novels I've recently finished over my break, actually. This was a fun book, and it's not well, I'll tell you. Okay, so this is Marie Benedict's Daughter of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
I have read I read one of her other books before. I get her mixed up with Mariah Fredericks, but who's a fantastic historical fiction writer. This one is like a dual timeline, and it kind of follows the 1920s timeline, and it features Howard Carter, the archaeologist who discovered Tutankhamun's tomb, Lord Carnarvon, and Lady Evelyn Herbert, who's the daughter of Lord Carnarvon, who was really into the archaeology. She's really focused on finding the first Egyptian, the first woman Egyptian pharaoh, Hatshepsut.
Mm-hmm.
She really wants to find her tomb. So the timeline is it jumps between Eve, they call her Eve, Evelyn, and then Hatshepsut, and how she became pharaoh, or how she made herself into pharaoh. And what's known about Hatshepsut is that during Egyptian, the reign of the, after she was gone, the pharaoh that followed her tried to erase every mention of her. Okay, like they chiseled her name off of things.
Yeah.
So this book kind of looks at how that happened, and of course, there's an interesting theory or twist. But it kind of jumps between the modern day 1920s woman, and how she's having to deal with the men around her, kind of telling her what she's allowed to do. Like, she wants to go on these digs. Meanwhile, her mother is like, we need to get you married. We need to find you a suitable match.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I just want to go out to the digs, and I want to study. And anyway, and then Hatshepsut, who is like, it talks about how she was raised. She was the daughter of Pharaoh. What was his name? Was it Tutmos? Anyway, and then she was getting circumscribed after he died because of the half brother Pygmalion.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, am I getting that confused with the other book I read? Yes, I am. The Dido book. Okay. No, her brother was like Tutmos II or something like that. Anyway, it was interesting. Not as good as The Wandering Queen, but it still was interesting. So it had the dual timeline. I finished reading that. This book is coming out in March. So
they were like parallel lives then.
Yeah, parallel lives. And there's like some, intrigue as far as they touch on Tutankhamun's tomb and then the so-called curse a little bit. But anyway, I finished reading that. This book's coming out in March, and I'm reviewing it for Historical Novels Review. Yeah, Christina, check out that one too, Daughter of Egypt. Marie Benedict has a long line of books that feature real life historical figures dealing with either a mystery or some type of, adventure. So I want to check out some of her others. She wrote a book called The Mitford Affair, so it kind of features the Mitford sisters a bit. There's another one that, like, the other Einstein, which was about Einstein's wife. And so she always she focuses on women in history and puts a nice fictional story around it. So I appreciate that.
That woman put up with a lot, by the way.
Einstein's wife?
Yes. Have you ever read on that?
No, I haven't.
Walter Isaacson's biography, Einstein. Really good. My buddy read that with Arion over at Book Zealots years ago. I say years ago. Have I been on BookTube that long? It was one of my first buddy reads. But anyway, yeah, she put up with a lot. Einstein's not the perfect guy that we kind of build this image of.
Right. As with most things in real life, right?
Yes. Real fast, I quickly Googled, and AI tells me the commissioner of the U.S. General Land Office was the job that Lincoln wanted.
There you have it, folks.
So I was close. I just didn't have the name right.
Thank you, AI.
1849 was the year. So I was off on my year by a couple.
Oh, I got to make one reference to our wonderful people in the chat, just zinging out awesome stuff. Meg, I want to tell you, that is the other book by Marie Benedict that I plan on getting, The First Ladies, because that follows Eleanor Roosevelt and Mary McLeod Bethune, who several years ago when I first started this channel, I read this book by Jill Watts called The Black Cabinet. And Mary McLeod Bethune was an African-American civil rights activist, educator. She was very big into, standing up schools for African-Americans and just, and so this is a fictional book about their friendship, but in that book, they talk about her friendship with Eleanor Roosevelt and how she would visit the White House a lot. So that's definitely a book I want to get. And by the way, for anyone who feels like, you feel like book shopping on a New Year's Eve, Book Outlet until January 5th, they're having 20% off on everything. And so there's a bunch of Marie Benedict paperbacks that I'm looking at maybe picking up for 20% off on Book Outlet. And The First Ladies is one of them. So I just wanted to say that real quick.
Sorry, I'm scrolling through comments to see.
Oh, and then Jamie is saying that, do I want to know about this more? Do I want to read a book about how awful Einstein was?
Well, it's not necessarily like the main topic of the book. Like they don't like focus on it. It just, for me, it bothered me because I've always had this idea of Einstein as being this great, great man. And he was showing the bumps and bruises along the way, so to speak.
Yeah. And I think, isn't there like a similar situation with, like, say, Karl Marx's wife? And there was something like
about that one.
Yeah, there's something any type of like wife to a Russian. Now, Karl Marx, well, he wasn't Russian, but I mean, then we go into the like Tolstoy's wife, and there's so many different stories about it. Did you have another book you wanted to show, or have you gone through what you've already read and we're moving on to what we are reading?
I think we're in what we're reading and then into the future, right?
Well, if that's, I have two more to show you that I've read.
Oh, go ahead.
Real quick. Yep. And they're both historical fiction. Okay. I want to know out there, have any of you guys read this? We all know Bernard Cornwell very well, right? A historical fiction writer, right? The Saxon series and stuff.
Okay. I bought one, but I haven't read it yet. I don't even know which one it was, but
I've always followed his Uhtred stories, which were the Saxon tales. And I never, because there's like 20 books in the series, I never got around to reading the Sharp series. Well, he started rewriting them again after a long hiatus. And I was assigned this book to review, and this is one of his most recent ones, Sharp Storm by Bernard Cornwell. And so I was curious. I'm like, I have not followed the series, so how can it, being a reviewer, I have to take it like, I have to review it stepping into it, just this book, you know what I mean? And I don't talk about what came before, but it intrigued me enough, and it was written well enough that if you're new to the series, you can tell where they've got some backstory. It only makes you want to kind of go back, and start reading it from the beginning. But so I finished this one and I reviewed it, and I still need to post the social media link to my review on Novels Alive. But this one is set like during the Napoleonic Wars. And it says set in 1813 in France. It's Napoleon versus Wellington, and Richard Sharp is this battle-hardened dude. And I kind of liked it. And I think I might go back and try to read more Sharp stories. So that one was good. That one's out now, I think. It's out now. Anyway, if you're a big Sharp reader or Bernard Cornwell, there's that. And then this book, I don't even know how I stumbled across it, but I loved it. It is, I think it's out now. I got a finished copy. I'm also reviewing this for Historical Novels Review. This is called The Winter Warriors by Olivier Norek. And it's a book that's translated, and I think it's translated from the French by Nick Keister. This is about the Winter War of 1930, November 1939 to March 1940, when the Soviet Union invaded Finland. And it centers around the world's most famous sniper, who was a Finnish soldier by the name of Simo Haiwa. I can't really pronounce his name, but and his friends. And it's just written in these really kind of brutal, sparse terms at times where it talks about the brutality of this war in the winter. In such, it talks about it in ways where it's so harrowing. Like there's some really graphic scenes. There's a scene where it's almost out of like something of like the movie Napoleon, where the Russians try to, let me show you a map here. There's two lines that they cannot seem to break. I don't know if you can see this, right? There's the Mannerheim line, and then the Kola line. And here come the Soviets. They have these two land routes to try to get into Finland, right? We're talking tens and tens of thousands of Russian troops banging up against single digits, like thousands of, or even hundreds at times, Finnish soldiers who knew how to defend their land, especially in winter. And there's a scene where they decide, well, we're going to get around the Mannerheim line by, in the deepest depths of winter, we're going to cross the Gulf of Finland where the ice is with tanks.
Ooh.
Well, it doesn't go well. And it's, some of the scenes are like out of like a Dante's vision of like a frozen hell, where they don't realize the center of the Gulf could be frozen, but the edges are usually a little, not as much. So these tanks would go, just start driving out and just boom.
Ooh.
Men are screaming and they just go down. They go down in it, and then it freezes over again. And even as men are marching out into the ice, the Finnish guys are like shooting their artillery, not at the soldiers, they're shooting the ice. So men, horses going down into, I mean, we're talking negative 70 degrees. Like
No, thank you.
I know. And so later on they're walking by and you just see arms sticking out of the ice.
Ugh.
Or bodies or a head. And it's just like this. And I'm like, and this actually happened. And I'm like, this is so
are you going and like fact checking stuff just to see?
Well, I'm going to, because I'm going to try, I'm scouting out some books on the Winter War now, because the courage of the Finnish people, I mean, they eventually, they rolled over them. Obviously they couldn't stop them forever. But in the beginning, they fought like hell to keep them out. There's this tiny little country devoted to peace, and here comes the big bad, the Soviet engine. And so, but yeah, I'm going to fact check some of that. But I kind of it read really, really, like I said, I like books that don't, they don't tiptoe around the brutality of war. Because if you want to avoid war, you got to really know what it is and that you don't want to have it.
I agree.
But this is a great book if you want to like get a really kind of fast moving novel based on real people. And this sniper, I don't want to give any spoilers about what happens to him, but yeah, he was awarded like this hero's gun or something. Like he made like one of the longest shots. I mean, it was amazing, like how many men he took out with his own gun, and then his band of friends, and who survived, who didn't. And I don't know. It was a really good story about just Finnish heroism. Okay, so that's kind of like what I've finished, and now I guess we can move into what we're working on. So I will kick it over to you.
Well, just with my reading plan, something I would like to get back into, but I need to, or I want to, I guess I don't need to, I can go to the library. But, when you go to any library, the John Hay and John Nicolay 10-volume set of Lincoln that every library seems to have, the old 1880s or 1890s edition. So I want those really bad. And so I started buying these reprint edition. I got the first two. Yeah, I've got the first two, and I want to. Those are the next books I want to focus on getting. So,
and that's just their own written biography of Lincoln, like based on, okay, and it uses
because they were both his personal secretaries, and so they were the ones writing up all of the stuff going back and forth to everybody. They got to see marriage firsthand with him and Mary Todd, and I mean, there's just a lot of really good stuff. And of course, John Hay went on to be Secretary of State and did some big things. So it's not like he's a podunk of history. He had some big stuff he did himself.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've got some great stories there, and yeah, I want to collect and continue reading these. I have read volumes 1 and 2. I cannot remember. I have to go back and look at my records and see if I started volume 3 or if I finished it. I can't remember, but I want to go back and do those.
Yeah.
Another one that I'm just kind of plodding along in, very much enjoying it. I'm buddy reading this with my daughter. I mentioned this before.
Oh.
It's the ever-ending saga, the Peaceable Kingdom.
Jan de Hartog. Who is this? I might need to look this one up.
It is a, oh gosh.
Jan de Hartog.
He is.
Ooh.
Holland.
The Peaceable Kingdom.
Yep.
American Saga. Tell us about it. 783 pages. Woo.
Yeah, and my daughter and I, we're quite a ways into it. We're 9-10 chapters away from the end finally. But it's about the Quakers. The first half of the book starts in England and has George Fox and Margaret. She will become Margaret Fox, and just tells their story. And it's fiction, but it's historical fiction. So you're getting a little bit of the story, but you're also getting a whole bunch of other stuff on the side. It really gives flavor to history if you want to look at it like that. The second half of the book brings it to Pennsylvania, and the second half of the book turns into a soap opera. Oh my goodness, it is a soap opera, and the speed of the book, the pace, just picks up big time. It's just right now. The last chapter I was reading was talking about the agreements that they made with the Native Americans, and they're wanting to redo those agreements. And the Quakers and the English are wanting to take more land from the natives, and so they're trying to figure out how to trick them. Basically, remember the walking.
The Trail of Tears.
No.
Sorry.
When they were making the boundaries.
That was the Native Americans. What am I talking about?
Well, when they were making the boundaries for Pennsylvania, and they did the walking treaty, I think is what it was called. And they basically tricked the Native Americans into giving up a lot of their land.
Yeah. That was so great of us, huh?
Yeah. So the best part of this, Christina, you said, you love that I'm reading with my daughter. This was one of her favorite books that she read in high school, and she wanted to reread it. And we've been doing Voxer chats back and forth on this, and kind of introducing her to how we do our buddy reads.
That's great.
Well, I'm telling you what, my daughter is smart as a whip. She picks up on stuff in the reading that I don't pick up on. But then again, she also shows, and it's fun because she shows her innocence where she doesn't understand. I mean, just because she hasn't read enough, and some of the words she doesn't know. And I'm going to embarrass her here, but she did not know what a courtesan was.
Okay. Courtesan.
She guessed wrong, and I got to explain to her what a courtesan was and what they did. We had quite the laugh on that one. So
just tell her to go read Memoirs of a Geisha. She'll get the general idea what a courtesan.
Well, one of these characters was a Parisian courtesan and ends up getting married, and she keeps having these flashbacks of bad stuff that had happened to her. And anyway, good book. Really kind of slow paced at the beginning, but then it picks up speed.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start getting into then. I'm looking up that book, by the way, since it comes so dearly recommended by your daughter and that you're reading it together. I'm going to see if I can get a used copy myself. All right. So a book I'm reading now that I actually just started, and I'm writing a review on it. I only have it on Kindle right now on a PDF, but this is, we're going to go to some Tudor history. I'm going to go to England now. This is a new book coming out by Lauren Johnson, who wrote a book about Henry VIII, I think, when he was a young guy. And I have that one. So Young a Prince, I think. This is Margaret Beaufort, survivor, rebel, kingmaker.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is from Pegasus Books. But yeah, you know, because she's the mother of what Henry Tudor. That basically, and I'm not, you know, I'm not as well versed in English, like the royalty history, you know, how things move from like Plantagenet. Then you have the Lancasters and the Yorks, right? And that's the what, War of the Roses. And then you've got the Tudor dynasty. I'm still trying to, you know, become more well versed because it can be really confusing between all the different titles and there's dukes and
look at their family trees.
Wait a second.
Some of them are, it's wow. And then what? Yeah. But you know what? When you get to looking at that stuff, when we study the Tudors, I create on my marker board. I put out a family tree for Henry VIII.
Right.
And try to explain how the crown went to James. Right. And
yes.
So we follow the. I'll have the tree in black, and then I'll have like a red line that follows where the crown was.
Mm-hmm.
The kids, and then you start talking about the different relationships and Mary, Queen of Scots, and all the stuff that she's a whole soap opera of her own, and the kids they're blown out of the water.
Yeah, and the thing is because all these people were so interrelated. Someone could be like a cousin, you know, fifth removed, but yet they could be in the direct line if something else didn't happen and a male heir didn't come to this person. There were so many shifting dynamics.
Well, then brothers killing sisters and killing cousins and killing fathers and killing different people. I mean, it was disturbing.
She was disturbing. And also this is disturbing. Like I'm about 40 pages in. Margaret Beaufort, so she was a descendant of Edward III. So that was like her claim to like royal blood, right? Mm-hmm. But she was married at the age of 12 and she gave birth within a year. And she never had any other kids. And then the author, Lauren Johnson, was just saying, historians basically agree she was damaged by that. Her body, and she was a slight of build anyway, a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
And she said most of the time in this era, the age of consent, or at least for when you consummate the marriage, okay, it was like 14 or 16, but 12 was unheard of. And but she gave birth, and the baby actually survived, and that was Henry. It was Henry Tudor, because she wanted to name the child after the king at the time, which was King Henry VI, who apparently was not. I want to read a biography on Henry VI, because, you know, he was a nice guy, but he said yes to everybody, and he just wasn't a strong guy. And then he was in charge when the French took back Normandy and all this kind of stuff. But so she's the mother, you know, and I don't know a lot about her, but I'm learning already. And it's really well written. I love reading well-written history. So anyway, you guys, this book is coming out in March 3rd, and I'm reviewing it for Forward Reviews magazine. So I'm reading that, and I'm enjoying that so far.
Real fast in the comments section. So I was laughing at an awkward time there. Sorry, I was laughing at Brian.
Let me see. Oh, Brian, he made it. What did he say? Let's put it up. A court is on. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
We have missed your droll sense of humor.
And then Christina had asked, do I read aloud to her, or do you read at the same book at the same time? So my youngest daughter, I read aloud to her. My oldest daughter, we're reading the same book at the same time. Right. And she doesn't live in our house. She lives on her own. Mm-hmm. So we're, like I said, contacting through Voxer.
Yeah, and I'm happy that she was that she liked that book that I sent her, Crimson.
Yeah.
for the high desert blood.
Yes.
If she ever gets around, I would let her know. I would love to know what she thought of the book. If she could just tell you and you can tell me,
Yep,
because there are some stuff. There's stuff in there that I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Didn't need to know that, but I guess in a
Yeah.
way goes to show you that, working in corrections, it can be
Oh,
really dangerous.
It's definitely eye-opening.
Yeah.
All right. So my wife told me that I need to be home shortly after 4, which is coming up here.
Okay.
My youngest daughter has a play date with somebody and I have to take her. So
okay. We're going to run through these.
So I thought we could maybe finish out talking about Battle Cry for Freedom.
Yes, let's do that. I'll save these others for another time. Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm not meaning to cut you off.
No, I know that we set it for 2 hours. So,
Well, she sent me a text earlier, so I'm just following instructions.
Yeah. So this is our buddy read, everybody out there in the chat. And I am starting. I'm going to be getting to chapter 4 this weekend, Bill.
I haven't done. I was like, well, I probably just ought to wait.
I'm going to catch up to you. So if you can wait to start chapter 5 next week, that would be great.
Oh yeah, because I got to read the. Where did it go? I put it somewhere. Oh, right there. Peaceable Kingdom next. I got to get that chapter read before I come back. I'm kind of flip-flopping back and forth between the two.
Yes. So we're reading this right now. Do I have 2 minutes to throw in a couple of more?
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick. So we were mentioning royalty, and this one is a little bit behind because this book is already out, came out in late October, but I'll be reviewing it for our nonfiction online section of the Historical Novels Review. And so this is The Sun Rising. I might have mentioned it before. King James I and the Dawn of a Global Britain, 1603 to 1625. This could be a recommendation for someone for that quarter of Historathon that would probably be what, the third quarter?
Yeah, it's third quarter.
Third quarter. And I recently read a biography on James I called The Mirror of Great Britain. And I think I talked about it in that last video that I was currently reading it. And so I will be reading this, and that way I can kind of compare the two. Mm-hmm. The Mirror of Great Britain was more of a biography. And I think this one's going to kind of just look at how James I, he helped, King James I helped, Britain become more global and the colonies and that kind of stuff. So I'll be reading this in January and posting my review by February when our new issue comes out. One more thing that I'm really excited about that I'll be starting next week, because not only am I writing a review of it, but my editor said, we'd love for you to interview the author. Now, whether that's going to be a video interview or like a Q&A, and I need to write up the questions, but this book is coming out from Bloomsbury in February, you guys. It sounds really good. And it's called The Blood Countess, Murder, Betrayal, and the Making of a Monster by Shelley Puhak. And this one is about, it's a work of true crime and feminist history about the woman alleged to be the world's most prolific female serial killer. Isn't that crazy? And I think this one is set, it's about Elizabeth Bathory, who there were claims that said she tortured and killed as many as 650 girls.
That's sick.
Oh God, this is going to be horrible. Why am I? Anyway, I got the short end of the stick. I've got to review this one, but it's set in the 1600s, right? Like, so part 1 is 1603 to 1609. Mm-hmm. I haven't really heard about Elizabeth Bathory. I think I might have heard. Oh, I don't know. But this author, she also wrote another book that I think I have called The Dark Queens, the bloody rivalry that forged the medieval world. So anyway, this is on my list of things that I'll be reading here in the next week. Oh, and one more thing. Then I got to let Bill go. I'm reading this right now. This is called The Free and the Dead, The Untold Story of the Black Seminole Chief, the Indigenous Rebel in America's Forgotten War by Jamie Holmes. This is from Simon & Schuster or Atria Books. This comes out in February, and this is about the Seminole Wars. President Andrew Jackson features in this, but also Osceola. And I didn't know this. Did you know that the Florida Seminoles logo of the the Seminole, like with the war cry.
Yep.
That's supposed to be Osceola.
Okay.
Yeah, he refused. Jackson said, I want them all out of Florida. I want all these, these Native Americans out there. And he would send these guys down there to move them out. And some would say, okay, we're going to move out. Osceola said, no, I'm going to fight. And he did. And then there was this Black Seminole. So it talks about how escaping slaves found refuge with a lot of these Native American tribes and were accepted. And they actually were in an alliance. And I think that might be Abraham, the Black Seminole chief. But he kind of partnered up with Osceola to fight all the militia that the settlers at the time, because at the time it was only the Florida territory. It wasn't a state. This is like in 1830s. So I'm going to try to I'll be reading this once this live stream is done. I need to finish this today and write a review of it for Publishers Weekly. And so, lots of different things going on.
Yeah. Well, this has been a great chat, and
it has.
It's always good to get back with you. And I do apologize for cutting it short. I guess it's not short. It's 2 hours.
It's not short, but hey, let's try to do this maybe every other month or so. What do you think about that? How about February? We do a check-in.
Okay. That sounds good. And
how about everyone in the chat? What do you think? Would you like to see us back in February? We'll pick a date and we'll commit to it. And thanks for hanging out. We've been really consistent with our audience number. Has been really been hanging around between 20, 25, 27. Thank you for hanging out for 2 hours on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, we appreciate it, and hope everybody has a wonderful New Year's Eve. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Enjoy the new year.
That's right.
If you guys set goals for yourself, but make them all positive and go get them.
Go get them, and just enjoy your reading. And Happy New Year's, everybody. We're going to enter into 2026 together. And I know we didn't get around to talking. Well, we did. We talked a little bit about goals. You talked about reading your sets this year. So let's check in February to see where we're at with our stuff.
That sounds great.
All right, everyone. Happy New Year's, Bill.
Yep. Happy New Year's to you, and Happy New Year's to everyone out there.
Yes. Happy New Year's, everybody.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Until next time.
And
happy reading.
Bye, everybody. Oh.